Look, I know this video is about Halo Infinite, so you probably expect some Halo Infinite gameplay in the background, but honestly, after the last bit of news we got, I don't even want to touch that game. So today's random game of choice is Zombie Army Trilogy. If you haven't played this before, it's essentially Sniper Elite V2. It's like an add-on they did for it with a bunch of zombies. But anyway, if you're not, in the loop with Halo Infinite, which honestly, I don't blame you if you aren't, because that game has been pretty underwhelming. It's been out for almost a year now, 10 months at this point, and there is barely any content in there. Like, it has half the content what a OG Halo developed by Bungie would have had. So the latest thing with Halo Infinite is the fact that there's not going to be any split screen co-op. And I know not everybody uses split screen nowadays. I know personally I do not, because I don't have any friends in real life that I hang out with in order, for that to really be a reasonable thing for me. And when it comes to my family members, well, we all have our own consoles, so whenever we play, we just play over Wi-Fi anyway. It's the fact that it was promised, and the fact that we were told it was coming to the game, but then they went back on their word like they have with many other things this year thus far. Lord, I died already. Dude, I am so bad at this game. This game is actually difficult. I'm just so sick of Halo Infinite and their BS, man. Like, they promise all these things, they give us dates, but they're always delayed, they come out half-baked, or they just straight up suck. That Battle Royale they're working on, I don't know enough about it to judge it, but I'm telling you, it's probably gonna suck anyway. Like, I don't even know if I'm gonna play it. Who knows? It could prove me wrong. This could be the next Warzone. Halo could be like a big deal again, but I really don't think Battle Royale and Halo is gonna work. Like, I don't know, the long TTKs Halo's known for, they're probably going to be even longer because most Battle Royales have a shield or an armor system, and it's just going to be really weird to play and probably really boring. Halo Infinite is just a game that is my example, and by that I mean it is my example that I go to when I talk about everything wrong with the gaming industry nowadays. At first, I was very confident about the game. They released the game early, as far as we know. Who knows? In reality, their goal date probably was actually in November, but they told the public December, so then they could do that turnaround and say that they were releasing it a month early in beta, just so then they could get, public hype up, since the public was a little about the game before launch. So I feel like that was probably just some big marketing scheme. There's no way that they actually released it a month early. And if they did, it was a mistake, because a year later, the game is still in a state that dude, it is not a state a game should be released in. I've been burned many times in the last couple years, okay? Cyberpunk at launch, I played it on the base Xbox One at launch, it was terrible. But finally, almost a whole 2 years later, I just played it a few months ago on that same base Xbox One, and it was actually playable now. And I've had that experience with a lot of games lately. I'm like not even able to play games until a year, maybe 2 years after their launch. And Halo Infinite's shaping up to be the exact same thing. They have roadmaps going in through like the entirety of next year. And essentially, the game's not even going to be in a decent, fun state until, like, the end of next year. I'm screwed right now. I have no ammo. I'm just running around with grenades. I hope I can survive this. Louis, don't get me wrong. I've said this again. I died again. Halo Infinite, at its core, is a very great game. Like, at its core, the gameplay, like, the way that the game feels in general, it is an amazing foundation. It's just 343 is squandering it so bad. And I saw something about them having to, like, allocate resources to the game or something like that, or they're trying to in order to make the game a more, like, filled product. Dude, what are you talking about? Your face is on the Xbox, on, like, the box, dude. Imagine Sony tweeting saying, hey, we have to allocate resources out to God of War Ragnarok. Things are a little iffy right now. We're trying our best. Homie, you own the IP, you are in full control of it, and you have billions of dollars. What do you mean? And for Microsoft, it's even worse. They have even more money and more people. You wanna know who like doesn't have those problems? Every other development team ever. Specifically the ones that are like big name, like owned by the consoles that they own, like the Sony exclusives and the Nintendo exclusives. Microsoft and Xbox, this is the first time where I'm gonna say a mascot for the console, is having troubles with budget. I just can't wrap my head around that. So if you want the, like, direct comparison to this, it would be like if Mario, okay, if the Nintendo dev teams came out and they were like, hey, we're trying to work on this Mario game, but money's a little tight. We're, like, allocating resources and people, so, yeah, we're having a little bit of trouble here. It's like, dude, you're Nintendo. I think I'm just stupid. I think I accidentally set the game on hard before I started it up. That was a mistake. This game on normal, let alone easy, is tough enough as it is. I'm actually stupid. I was talking about this in last night's video, and I'm sorry for sounding like a broken record, but this is a problem that needs to be addressed, okay? I am very, very passionate about video games. I make video games, I play video games, I code video games, I do a lot of things with video games, okay? this is my life. I make a living off of video games, off of playing them for my YouTube channel, for streaming them on Twitch. Video games are literally everything to me, and to see the market going down like this, like, don't get me wrong, there's tons of, like, flowers in the shit stack, whatever you want to call it. I don't have any good metaphors or sayings for this. I'm literally recording this at 8:30 in the morning. My brain is still not activated. In my opinion, indie games are going to be the future of the video game market for the foreseeable future. The only good games I can think of in recent memory that weren't broken at launch or whatever were, aside from things like Elden Ring and a few exceptions like that, like very few exceptions, is indie games, because they give a damn about their product and they have full creative control over it. And another thing I want to get across, anytime I'm ranting about this stuff, I understand a lot of times this is completely out of the developer's hands, and I'm sure like CDPR was not wanting to release something like Cyberpunk in the state that it was, but when you have all these investors and higher-ups and publishers and fiscal years and sales expectations and stocks, it's a whole bloated mess, and it pisses me off that creative mediums have to go to such an extent to kiss the asses of investors and like publishers and such, because obviously they have to rely on them entirely to get their budget and such, but it sucks that they have to kiss so much ass and just kind of meet their demands even if the products that they're putting out are absolutely garbage or broken. We need to like join together as a community and just say like no to all of this. When there's games that are broken and buggy at launch, like we need to stop buying them, we need to start refunding them. Cyberpunk was a step in the right direction. Dude, that got yanked off an Xbox, off a PlayStation. There was refunds out the wahoo. Sure, at first they all made their money back, and they probably still made more than enough to whatever, like, be fine. But I don't know. We just need to do what we did with Cyberpunk, but to a bigger extent. I was saying this in last night's video again. We need a Noah's Ark or the flood of the video game industry. Like, something needs to change, man. It makes me sad, because this is a medium and a creative whatever that I care about a lot, and it sucks when there's, like, these stinkers like this, man, because there's some games that come out amazing, that are great, like Elden Ring. Personally, I didn't jive with Elden Ring just because I'm not much of a Souls guy. I didn't get too far into it. But from what I played, I enjoyed it, and I can understand why so many people loved it. It's a very fun game that requires a lot of skill. And above all else, aside from some PC problems at launch, some performance issues, the game was pretty good all in all in terms of its bugs. Then we look at Halo Infinite, Battlefield 2042, and just a bunch of other games. It also raises another question for me. Do developers sometimes maybe lie to get more funding or to keep the hopes up of their publishers and investors just so then, they don't get in trouble? Like, is it possible that maybe people at, above CDPR, for example, knew or didn't know about the actual condition of Cyberpunk and how bad it was before it launched? Because, from a business standpoint, releasing a product like that, would that really be a smart move? Like, it makes me wonder if sometimes developers do maybe fib a little bit just so they can keep getting the funding they need to even get it out the door and not risk getting themselves in trouble. But then again, I think about how greedy publishers and higher-ups are, so I don't know. I just have this whole conflict. Something just needs to change. Well, Grumpy YouTuber did his ramblings for the day, and we actually completed the mission, so hey, I feel complete. I've been stuck on that for, 5 months. As anyways, I'm stupid. As always, please leave your thoughts down in the comments. What are your guys' thoughts on all this? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Should I just shut up maybe and go back to making happy content? As always, a shout out to the patrons, Commerce Shade Grandma, and Lubity Tap. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you guys back here tomorrow at 7. Hopefully I'll be coming at you with a bit of a happier video unless we hear some more sad gaming news. But when stuff like this happens, I need to address it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace. I'm recording this bit after I already finished recording the video, but I just thought of this, okay? You want to know what games had split screen? Halo Combat Evolved on the original Xbox. Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo. Think about that.